In a recent 5-minute interview with Newsroom Africa, John Steenhuisen, the leader of the Democratic Alliance, provided a concise and simplified overview of the Government of National Unity, the GNU, and the DA's role within it. Despite only about a third of eligible voters casting their ballots, the voices of those who did vote represent the entire nation. Those who chose not to vote must accept the outcome, as it is the democratic will of the people. Those who criticize the current GNU or claim that the DA has betrayed its voters are often those who did not participate in the democratic process. Steenhuisen highlighted that the DA's focus is not on securing positions, but on serving the people of South Africa in key areas such as infrastructure, development, economic growth, and poverty reduction. He believes that this is the best option available, considering the election results.
For us, it's not really about positions. It's about being able to be in areas where we can serve and deliver on our manifesto. We set out a 7-point manifesto to the people of South Africa about how we would rescue South Africa. The key things that had to be done over the next 5 years to get South Africa off this high unemployment, low growth, high debt trajectory and onto one of hope, prosperity and opportunity and inclusiveness for more South Africans.
Contrary to predictions of unrest and riots if the ANC or some other party did not win, the voting process and the days leading up to the presidential inauguration were quite peaceful. Steenhuisen acknowledged that the results have been accepted and there was a smooth transfer of power.
Peaceful transfer of power. The people have spoken. We had an election. The results have been accepted. No tanks on the streets. Nobody clinging to power despite the fact that they've lost a majority. And I think a very mature way forward from the political parties. The voters said, we're not giving any of you a majority. You must work together.
John Steenhuisen highlighted Operation Vulindlela, a collaborative effort between the presidency and the National Treasury, aimed at expediting structural reforms and boosting economic recovery. If the DA is successful in persuading the ANC and other GNU partners to align with the objectives of Operation Vulindlela, South Africa has the potential to become a nation worthy of global admiration.
We need to now accelerate Operation Vulindlela even faster so that we can start to move. And it's important we do so because the centre is now held in this election in South Africa. The anti-constitutionalists have been kept out of the union buildings. We now must deliver to the people so that they have confidence and trust in us to hold the centre with us in elections to come.
But what about Phala Phala? The DA has criticised the Public Protector's report on the matter, calling it a whitewash and expressing concerns about the integrity of the investigation. But will they now push for accountability and transparency in the matter, considering they are now members of the GNU?
We believe that the law must follow its course. If there's anybody involved in criminal activities or suspicious activities, they must be investigated by the relevant authorities and there must be consequences for that. And it doesn't matter if it's me or somebody in the ANC or somebody in the IFP or any of the parties that are signatories to the GNU. Just because we're now in a GNU doesn't mean accountability comes to an end. And that's one of the reasons why we were specific. We wanted to take a role in the legislature to ensure accountability, but also the executive, so that we can also get down to the brass tacks of delivery. So there will be processes. There's a court process that's underway in the Phala Phala matter. That must reach its logical conclusion and its end point, and then we'll be in a better position as Parliament, I think, to decide how to go forward.
So it seems they have not given up on Phala Phala. We will have to wait and see. The ANC and the DA, the primary partners in the current GNU, did not voluntarily choose to form this alliance. Instead, they were compelled to do so by the outcome of the elections. Fortunately, the ANC recognized that partnering with radical parties like the EFF, or even worse, the M.K.Party of Zuma, would have been detrimental to South Africa's economy and citizens, and thus opted for a more moderate partnership with the DA.
I'm sure that the ANC would like to have emerged from this election with their own majority. We would have liked an MPC majority, but that's not what the voters chose. They chose the cards that they've dealt us, and we must now play those as best as we can for the country. I think we have put our party T-shirts away for now. South African flag on the front, party logo on the back. It's time to rescue our country.
You don't have to be a DA supporter to recognize the value they bring to the government. Even those who strongly oppose the DA must acknowledge that the Western Cape, under their governance, demonstrates a closer commitment to serving the people and maintaining infrastructure. By joining the Government of National Unity, the DA is not betraying its supporters or voters. Rather, they are collaborating with the ANC to address the country's challenges collectively. If the DA had declined to join the GNU, the consequences could have been far worse. There are indeed worse alternatives than the current GNU structure. But who are these members of the new Government of National Unity in South Africa? Well, they are the ANC, African National Congress, the DA, Democratic Alliance, the Inkatha Freedom Party, the Good Party, the Patriotic Alliance, the Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania, and the National Freedom Party. But what's your opinion on the Government of National Unity? If you don't support it, what other options do you think would work better? If you don't agree with the DA being part of the GNU, what other solutions do you suggest? Remember, to govern the country, a coalition, a group of parties working together, is needed to have a majority, more than half of the votes. Let me hear from you in the comments, and let's discuss it. Do subscribe to my channel, as I do have a few more stories to tell. I will see you in the next video.